It's spelled Houzz, House. And you go online to houzz.com. I got turned on to it by Damian Farrell, our local architect from Damian on Design, heard each week here on the Lucy Ann Land Show. And I love this site. I can't get off it, Damian.
It's a phenomenon.
It is
And
a website and online community about architecture, interior design, decorating, landscape design, and home improvement. And today we're going to talk about Houzz a little bit more with Liza Hausman from Houzz, where she handles the marketing. Liza, welcome into the show.
yeah, welcome, Liza.
Thanks very much, you guys. Appreciate you having me.
Wow.
How did Houzz come about? How did it start?
Yep, it's actually a great story, and I think you've probably experienced this with some of your clients, Damian. But
Yes.
our founders were a husband and wife with two young kids who bought the fixer-upper on the block and
my
knew that
goodness.
it needed renovation. Yes, a lot of renovation. Probably the neighbors were expecting it, and they thought, "Wow, this is going to be great fun. We love great design. We're going to really enjoy this process." And their experience, I think, much like others at the time, was that it was actually quite frustrating and difficult to find ideas and images that they could use to communicate, or
Right.
to find just the right professional who had the vision that they did for their home. And to articulate that and not to have to drag their kids around to bookstores. And so Houzz was actually started not as a business, but really just as a side project of a
Okay.
couple who were frustrated and thought, gosh, there has to be a more fun, a more productive way for us to go about this. And
Yeah.
their backgrounds were more in technology. And so they actually built the site and the app to help themselves through their own projects, shared it with friends and family, and pretty quick it caught on nationwide and around the world, and they realized, gosh, sounds like people out there have the same problems we do. And about a year later, they quit their real jobs and started to pursue Houzz full time.
Are they still in that house that they renovated?
They're still in the house that they renovated. They're still our CEO and president. And
Okay.
really that approach, that approach is great, because everything we do at Houzz, we say, are we solving a problem for people? Is this making the process of building, remodeling, and decorating more fun
You know,
for pros and for homeowners?
It is. As an architect who's done residential work now for going on 27 years, in the old days it used to be, okay, a new house client would come in, please assemble all your photographs and images, cut out all those magazines, bring us your folder with everything, and people used to get sheepish about it. Oh, really? It's just, okay, I've been dreaming about this, but you really want to see what my dreams and ideas are? Absolutely. How else are we going to get to really understand what you're looking at? And how do we talk the same language of design? And so this is an incredible transition to see Houzz in action with all of our residential clients. I mean, we're getting links daily now. Here's a new idea. This is just, the growth of this thing is phenomenal.
Yep, I think you guys kind of both hit the nail on the head. I think, Damian, when you talk about, yes, how do I see my clients' ideas? How do I make sure that they're going to be happy with what I do?
Yeah.
And I think being able to communicate visually really has been transformative for most people. They don't know the vocabulary of design. They don't know what these
Exactly.
terms are called, a tray ceiling or a coffered ceiling, but they can absolutely show you pictures and say, I like this, I don't like that. Everybody can feel comfortable doing that. And if you're going to spend a lot of money, you want to feel good about the outcome, and Houzz
Yeah.
really empowers people to feel good about that.
Describe for people maybe that haven't been on the site yet, houzz.com, or haven't downloaded the app. And again, that's Houzz. Describe the best way to use this and what they're going to find there, and how they can access the information, because there is a lot on here, Liza.
Yep. Well, I'll start with the way most people start, which is on the process of collecting ideas that you want to either share with your partner to do the project or with your professional. Houzz has 3 million gorgeous photos. If you like flipping through magazines, you will definitely love coming to Houzz. The photos are incredible, and they're organized in really useful ways. Everything from rooms, so you can search by living room or bedroom or bathroom or kitchen. But you can also search by, any term you want. So if you're looking for, white countertops or cherry cabinets, you can find ideas like that. So most people start by using Houzz to search for images that inspire them, that get them excited, that give them ideas for their own home, and they save them to what we call idea books, which are essentially online manila folders. And Damian, I've been through this after several renovations. Before Houzz, right, you used to rip those pages out of magazines and stuff them in a manila folder. Well, now you can do that online. You can do it online. You can create an unlimited number of folders. You never lose them. They're in the cloud. You can name them anything that you want. And best of all, you can share them. So when Damian said he's getting links all the time, what he means is people are sending him their idea books and links to collections of images that they want him to see and react to.
Yeah. It has been for us such a powerful vocabulary, what's the right word, broadening for our clients. And the other thing too, a style broadening. You know, here in the Midwest, we're pretty conservative, generally speaking. And for a long time, I've always maintained I'm really a closet modernist, but there's not much opportunity here in the Midwest. I really think that Houzz is mainly responsible for the work that we're seeing coming through in places like Ann Arbor right now, where the work is much more contemporary. And we're getting this equal balance, if you will, of some clients wanting contemporary, converting mid-century modern houses and keeping in that idiom, but in a more current sense, but also the traditional side by side with it. And it's the ability to look at images and develop your vocabulary that I think is so powerful. So if I'm describing, if you said to me, Damian, I love this image because this living room is cozy. Well, I could have a very different set of thoughts and ideas and mental pictures about cozy than what you do. But the ability of Houzz, that's where it lies, is to bring together that vocabulary so that people are talking the same language.
Yeah, it's interesting. Our founder likes to say, our CEO likes to say that Houzz really turns the lights on for people. They're essentially kind of in the dark, and now it's like, oh my goodness. And I apologies to the husbands out there, because whenever I meet the women, they're like, oh my God, I love Houzz. When I meet the husbands, they're like, he's been very expensive for me. But it really does, I think, get people, things that you didn't know existed. It's like, it's like online shopping. Things that you didn't know existed, all of a sudden you're like, I love that. I need to find out more about that. But that's exactly what happens, is that it really opens your eyes to the possibilities that are out there.
And not just
gets people excited.
Not just in design, but storage ideas. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe the different ways now to keep organized. Who is posting these pictures on Houzz? How does that happen?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that. So one of the things that's really unique about Houzz is that the photos come from professionals who are uploading their portfolio of work. So not only is Houzz a great place to get inspiration, it's also a great place to find that architect, designer, contractor, landscaper to hire for your project, because every photo is linked to the person who did the work. And there's actually a directory of professionals organized by category, and you can see their work. You can ask them questions. You can read reviews about them, and it really kind of provides a 360-degree view of that professional, and makes you feel, much more comfortable about, what you're going to get.
And you actually have a Houzz badge for those professionals?
Yes, we have badges for their websites, and we actually run a community-based, essentially our version of the People's Choice Awards on Houzz, called the Best of Houzz Awards. Only about 4% of professionals win them every year, but it's a nationwide program, and based on basically what our community of Houzz users thinks about these professionals, their reviews, their work, etc., we put out these Best of Houzz badges as well.
We're talking with Liza Hausman. I love your name, by the way.
It is perfect. You can never leave.
Karma.
Yeah, that's
you
right.
can never leave.
Karma.
About the website and app Houzz. How did they come up with the Houzz?
Well, it's a combination of the word house and buzz. When Houzz first started, instead of adding photos to an idea book, you would buzz them, and that was the idea of kind of saying, hey, I like this.
And these home improvement professionals and others, I mean, you have unbelievable amounts of people that participate in this. Yeah, we have more than 350,000, and what's really, I think, amazing, and if you go into Ann Arbor, you'll see an incredible list of professionals as well. We also do research every year called our Houzz and Home Study, and we survey all the homeowners using Houzz
This year we had almost 200,000 people take the study worldwide, and we got responses from 100% of the world's countries, if you can believe it. So
you did 100% of the world's countries.
Yes, we got 3 from Vatican City. I mean, you'd be amazed.
Oh, that's a great
We've got some
story.
closet designers in the Vatican.
Uh,
Or closeted designers.
the,
So
the,
what? Go ahead, Lucia.
yeah, is there anything in particular, a story that has come out of Houzz since it first began, that really expresses what the husband and wife duo who started this intended to do in the first place? I mean, the kinds of things, this whole community of people that use Houzz and the kinds of designs that come out of this. And I guess it goes back to Damian's point about opening our eyes to things that maybe we didn't realize that we do like, or
Yeah.
designs that you hadn't seen before. I'm one of those people that, unless it's built, I can't imagine it. I'm not creative. And I'm learning a lot through this Damian on Design show about how you can kind of find your inner design. So, Liza, share with us, if you would, some stories that you've heard from some of the users of Houzz.
Sure, absolutely. And we have great stories of sort of, when you called it a community, Lucy, I think you really were right on. Houzz is a community because it brings together the homeowners and the home professionals in the same community and allows them to interact. And some of the best stories are really about how homeowners are connecting with the right professional and are so happy with the outcome. We have stories, everything from a couple coming into second marriages for both and having to figure out how do you turn the bachelor pad into a couple's home, and finding just the right designer to help them, match and bring their styles together.
Yeah.
We had a homeowner in Dubai hire a landscaper in Southern California because he wanted an American-style yard.
Wow.
We've had designers, or actually had an architect tell us the other day that he was actually able to pay off his mortgage because he's gotten such an increase in business. And some of the really neat parts is you have all these talented people out there that really had no platform for showing their talent.
Yeah.
And one of the neat things Houzz has been able to do is really showcase that talent. We've had folks that have started their own furniture lines because there's been so much demand for some of the custom pieces they've made. We've had architects in Florida get hired because they were specialists in green building to do work in New Zealand. So really pretty amazing stories, and a lot of moving stories. I think one of the when I say moving, it wasn't emotional. It was actually moving to other
Literally
parts
and
of
physically,
the country.
yeah.
Although they're kind of moving. We had a builder in Minneapolis get hired, really sight unseen, right over the phone, by a couple whose child was going to be going to school in Minneapolis, and they found him on Houzz, and they said, based on what we've seen on Houzz, we think you're the best builder in the world, and so we want you to build a custom home for us. And we hear stories of this all the time, where there's such rich amount of information that people are making decisions about who they want to hire even before they meet these professionals. So really just an amazing kind of marketplace and coming together of homeowners and professionals to achieve their dreams.
So this all started out just on a whim, if you will, and how old is Houzz now? What is it? About 4 years?
I'm
5
about
years?
4 years old.
4, yeah, okay.
4 years.
So the imagination that went into this, and how that must have just expanded extraordinary to this point. What's next? What do you guys imagine? Where's this going?
Especially from your vantage point, Liza, where the marketing and social strategy, the consulting, and all of that background that you have, when you look at some of these online products that are out there, what's the future hold for these?
Sure. Well, I think, for us, and our focus is always on that problem solving, right? If we can't continue to make things better for folks, then we have to do that to stay relevant for the future. So that really is our focus. I mean, we want to be the first thing that anybody thinks of when they're going to build, remodel, or decorate a home. We didn't touch on the, thousands of articles that we publish,
Right.
that people love to read and get Houzz tours and, learn how to apply color, and just, there's an incredible wide range there. We have a discussions area where you can actually go in and get advice from both homeowners who've been through the process before as well as professionals. Like, should I put an under-counter microwave in? Has anyone done this? What's that like? So we're just going to continue to add tools and features that, again, are going to make that process smoother and easier.
Yeah.
And when we have some new ones to talk about, I would love to come back and tell you about it.
We will definitely have you back. Houzz, I just got turned on to it a year ago, thanks to Damian and Farrell. I love the site, and I can't get off it. So, there's so many accolades that have come in for Houzz. CNN naming Houzz App of the Week, calling it the Wikipedia of interior and exterior design sites. My favorite, though, is Bloomberg Business Week calling it an online antidote to the housing bust. And then Architectural Digest, this app will stoke your imagination.
Those are very bold and exciting words from Architectural Digest.
That's a good point. Liza, great talking with you today.
Liza, thank you.
Damian on Design with Damian Farrell, local architect here in Ann Arbor on the Lucy Ann Lance Show. Pleasure getting to know you and finding out more about Houzz. And as things develop there, we look forward to having you back on the show. Thank you very much.
Thanks, you guys. Have a great day.
Liza Hausman, she's a VP of Marketing and Community at Houzz, Houzz. You can find it online at houzz.com. And more coming up on the Lucy Ann Lance Show, Ann Arbor's talk station, 1290 WLBY.